Howdy, howdy, chaps. It's been a while. Apologize for that, but let's talk about Ereshkigal, Mesopotamian goddess, the underworld, and all of that good jazz. It's said that those who enter the underworld, man or god, cannot leave, and its queen wasn't to be trifled with. She saw to it that wrongdoers were justly punished, and her son or servant Namtar was a demon called Death. Or Namtar may have also been a god whose name meant destiny or fate, and was a son of the god Enlil as well. Ereshkigal herself could also free those who were possessed of evil spirits on the earth, and was also something of a motherly figure in the pantheon generally. She's known as the Lady of the Great Earth and Queen of the Great Below as some of her titles, so yeah, probably not someone you want to mess with. But Ereshkigal was the daughter of Anu, the Mesopotamian personification of the sky, and was born when Anu shed a tear when separated from his sister consort lover, Ki, the earth itself. When the tear mixed with Namu's primeval waters, Ereshkigal was born, pretty much, so it's not all that surprising that she's a pretty significant god in the pantheon. But Ereshkigal's younger sister, Ayana, sought to observe the funeral rites of Gugalana, Ereshkigal's husband. Now, as I said before, the underworld isn't exactly a normal place where people can just go and come and go. But anyway, Erna demands entry into the underworld. But before she does, she instructs Nisubur, her sort of helper-servant individual, and tells her what to do should she not return in time. Neti, the gatekeeper, was quickly ordered by Ereshkigal to bolt the 7 gates of the underworld shut, and to only open each in succession. As each gate was opened, Ayana was instructed to remove one piece of her clothing. A crown, a scepter, a necklace, among other royal garments. By the time that she reached the 7th gate, she was almost completely naked. So when she passed through the gate, she was completely defenseless because, being naked was a sign of her having sort of, not much powers about her. Because in the pantheon generally, Ayana is a pretty powerful goddess, which made what happened next pretty much child's play. So the judges of the underworld deemed Ayana guilty of a bunch of different crimes and insults, rudenesses, things along those lines, and Ayana was quickly struck dead and then left hanging from a hook for all to see. Ayana's loyal minister, Ninsubur, realized something was up and then decided to go to Enki to plea with the god to rescue the goddess, which he did, and sent some sexless beings to revive Ayana. Now by sexless, I literally just mean that they were neither male nor female, not the other type. And so what these guys do is they enter the underworld, and lucky for them, Queen of the underworld is having some labor pains, so in some way or another they end up relieving the pains and helping out Ereshkigal, and in return she offers them one thing that they would ask for. So they pretty easily are able to claim the corpse. With that, they're also able to revive Ayana with water of life and some food of life as well, and then they proceed to leave the underworld. Tricky thing about this is, as I said, those that enter the underworld are not supposed to leave. So the band is pursued by a bunch of demons. All the demons really wanted was just Ayana to go back. They didn't seem too concerned with whether the sexless beings return. But Ayana does escape and returns to safety. And when she does return, the demons are following her, and they expect that if Ayana doesn't go back, that someone goes back in her place. Ayana's minister was wearing sort of robes that indicated that she was grieving the loss of her goddess, so Ayana didn't want her sort of taken. A bunch of other gods and beings important to Ayana, or perhaps not even that important to Ayana, were still sort of mourning her passing by wearing these specific clothes. But the one person that didn't was a god called Dumuzid. The ironic thing about that was that Dumuzid was her husband, and he didn't seem to mind the fact that she died. In fact, he was just sat up on the throne in shimmering armor, not symbolic of mourning. Because it was a bit of an insult, he was sent back to the underworld in her stead. And that's how the story ends. Now, I did tell another story including Ereshkigal. It's another significant myth including her in another Mesopotamian video that I did, so I'll leave a card to that there. But it's a nice little confrontation with her second husband, because Gugalana was her first, right? So, yeah. And she actually did end up having a lot of consorts, believe it or not. So that's also another interesting thing about the goddess. But that was more or less a video. Tell me what you thought. Did you enjoy it? And of course, what do you think of Ereshkigal as a goddess? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you in the next video and have a good day. Bye-bye.